Question 1. A project manager is leading a global team where cultural differences often lead to misunderstandings and delayed decisions. To improve collaboration and reduce conflict, which emotional intelligence competency should the project manager primarily focus on developing within the team? A. Self-regulation. B. Motivation. C. Empathy. D. Social skills. Answer: C. Empathy. Empathy, a crucial emotional intelligence competency, involves understanding and sharing the feelings of others, which is vital for effective collaboration in diverse teams. Developing empathy allows team members to appreciate different perspectives and cultural nuances, directly addressing misunderstandings and reducing conflict. When individuals can put themselves in another's shoes, they are more likely to communicate clearly and resolve issues cooperatively, fostering a more inclusive and productive environment. Cultivating empathy helps bridge cultural gaps and strengthens team cohesion. Question 2. In an Agile project, a product owner is working with the development team to refine the product backlog. They are discussing an item that represents the smallest piece of functionality that still delivers value to the customer. What is this concept called? A. Epic. B. User story. C. Minimum viable product (MVP). D. Minimum marketable feature (MMF). Answer: D. Minimum marketable feature (MMF). A minimum marketable feature (MMF) is the smallest set of functionality that provides value to the customer and can be released independently. Unlike an MVP, which focuses on learning and validating a product hypothesis, an MMF is specifically about delivering tangible, valuable functionality to the market sooner. Identifying MMFs helps the product owner prioritize work and deliver incremental value, allowing the organization to realize benefits earlier. Breaking down work into MMF supports Agile principles of frequent delivery and customer feedback. Question 3. A project manager is overseeing a complex project with numerous interdependencies across different teams. The team is struggling to see the bigger picture and how their individual tasks contribute to the overall project goals. Which PMBOK 7th edition performance domain is most directly concerned with ensuring this alignment and understanding? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Delivery performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: C. Delivery performance domain. The delivery performance domain focuses on ensuring that the project delivers the scope and quality that the project was undertaken to achieve. This includes understanding the overall project goals, how different components contribute, and ensuring that the work actually produces the intended value. When teams struggle to see the bigger picture, it indicates a challenge in connecting individual efforts to the ultimate delivery of value, which is a core concern of this domain. This domain emphasizes producing deliverables that meet requirements and create intended outcomes, helping everyone understand their role in achieving success. Question 4. A project manager has identified a significant risk. A key subject matter expert, SME, might leave the company before project completion. This SME possesses unique, undocumented knowledge critical to a complex system integration. Which risk response strategy would be most appropriate in this scenario? A. Accept. B. Mitigate. C. Transfer. D. Exploit. Answer: B. Mitigate. Mitigation involves taking action to reduce the probability or impact of a negative risk event. In this situation, documenting the SME's unique knowledge, cross-training other team members, or creating a backup plan are all mitigation strategies that would lessen the potential impact if the SME were to leave. Accepting the risk means doing nothing, which is too high for critical knowledge, and transferring it is difficult for unique internal knowledge. The goal here is proactive reduction of the threat. Question 5. During a project's execution, several stakeholders express concerns that the project deliverables are not aligning with the organization's strategic objectives, despite meeting the defined scope. Which document should the project manager revisit with the stakeholders to clarify the project's ultimate purpose and expected benefits? A. Project Management Plan. B. Scope Statement. C. Project Charter. D. Requirements Traceability Matrix. Answer: C. Project Charter. The Project Charter is a high-level document that formally authorizes the project, establishes the project manager's authority, and links the project to the organization's strategic objectives. It outlines the project's purpose, high-level requirements, and measurable project objectives and success criteria. When stakeholders question alignment with strategic objectives, revisiting the charter helps everyone understand the foundational reasons for the project and its intended benefits. This document ensures that the project remains focused on delivering value that supports the organization's broader goals. Question 6. An Agile team has just completed its sprint review, where stakeholders provided valuable feedback. What is the very next event the Scrum team should conduct to discuss their performance and identify improvements for the upcoming sprint? A. Sprint planning. B. Daily Scrum. C. Retrospective. D. Backlog refinement. Answer: C. Retrospective. Following the sprint review, the retrospective is the next crucial Scrum event, providing a dedicated time for the Scrum team to inspect itself and create a plan for improvements to be enacted during the next sprint. This meeting focuses on processes, tools, and interactions, asking what went well, what could be improved, and what will we commit to doing differently. Stakeholder feedback from the sprint review often informs the team's discussions during the retrospective, driving continuous improvement within the team's practices. It is a critical event for fostering team growth and adaptability. Question 7. A project manager is evaluating potential project team members. One candidate demonstrates exceptional communication skills, actively listens, and is adept at negotiating and resolving conflicts. These qualities align most closely with which key component of effective project leadership? A. Technical project management. B. Strategic and business management. C. Leadership. D. Risk management. Answer: C. Leadership. The qualities described, exceptional communication, active listening, negotiation, and conflict resolution, are all hallmarks of strong leadership skills, a critical component of the PMI talent triangle. Effective project leaders inspire and guide their teams, navigate interpersonal dynamics, and foster a collaborative environment to achieve project goals. While technical and business management skills are also important, these specific traits directly address the people aspect of project management and the ability to influence others. Developing these leadership competencies helps a project manager build high-performing teams and navigate complex stakeholder relationships. Question 8. During the execution of a construction project, new environmental regulations are unexpectedly enacted, requiring significant changes to the project's planned waste disposal methods. What is the first formal action the project manager should take? A. Implement the new waste disposal methods immediately. B. Issue a change request to the Change Control Board. C. Inform the sponsor about the new regulations. D. Update the risk register with the new environmental regulations. Answer: B. Issue a change request to the Change Control Board. Any significant change to a project's scope, cost, or schedule, especially those driven by external factors like new regulations, must be formally processed through the integrated change control system. The first formal action is to submit a change request detailing the proposed modifications and their potential impact. Implementing changes without formal approval can lead to scope creep, budget overruns, or misalignment with project objectives. This structured approach ensures all stakeholders review and approve the necessary adjustments, maintaining project control. Question 9. A project team is constantly finding new ways to improve their workflow, proactively identify and solve problems, and take ownership of their tasks without constant direction. Which characteristic of an effective team, according to PMBOK principles, are they demonstrating? A. Shared understanding. B. Empowerment. C. Psychological safety. D. Adaptability. Answer: B. Empowerment. Empowerment refers to giving team members the authority and autonomy to make decisions, solve problems, and take ownership of their work. When a team proactively identifies improvements and takes ownership without constant direction, they are demonstrating a high level of empowerment. This fosters innovation, increases motivation, and allows the team to be more responsive to challenges. Creating an environment where team members feel trusted and capable of self-organization is key to building a high-performing project team. Question 10. A project manager is facilitating a meeting to gather requirements for a new product. Several stakeholders have conflicting priorities and different ideas about what features are most important. Which technique would be most effective for the project manager to use to prioritize these requirements? A. Brainstorming. B. Affinity diagrams. C. Moscow prioritization. D. Interviews. Answer: C. Moscow prioritization. Moscow prioritization is a widely used technique for categorizing and prioritizing requirements by classifying them as must-have, should-have, could-have, and won't-have this time. This method is particularly effective when dealing with conflicting stakeholder priorities, as it provides a structured framework to facilitate discussions and achieve consensus on what is truly essential versus what is desirable or postponable. It helps clarify expectations and ensures that the most critical features are addressed first, especially useful in Agile or hybrid environments. Question 11. An Agile project team is struggling with frequent interruptions and a lack of focus during their sprint. Team members often feel overwhelmed by external requests and shifting priorities. What role is primarily responsible for protecting the team from these external distractions and ensuring they can focus on their sprint goal? A. Product owner. B. Project manager. C. Scrum master. D. Development team lead. Answer: C. Scrum master. The Scrum Master acts as a servant leader to the Scrum team, and a key aspect of this role is protecting the development team from external interruptions and impediments. They coach the team on self-management, remove obstacles, and ensure that the team can concentrate on achieving its sprint goal without being derailed by outside pressures or unapproved changes. By shielding the team, the Scrum Master fosters an environment where the team can be most productive and maintain focus on their commitments. Question 12. A project manager is conducting a lessons learned session at the end of a project. Several team members express frustration over communication breakdowns that led to rework. To address this in future projects, which action should be taken? A. Update the stakeholder engagement plan for the next project. B. Revise the project schedule for future projects. C. Improve communication channels and strategies in organizational process assets. D. Increase the budget for communication tools in the next project. Answer: C. Improve communication channels and strategies in organizational process assets. Lessons learned are crucial for continuous improvement, not just for the current project but for the organization as a whole. Documenting improved communication channels and strategies and integrating them into organizational process assets, OPAs, ensures that these learnings benefit future projects. This systematic approach allows subsequent project managers and teams to leverage past experiences, preventing similar communication breakdowns and reducing rework across the organization. It's about institutionalizing knowledge for long-term benefit. Question 13. A project team is utilizing a Kanban board to manage its workflow. They notice a significant bottleneck forming at a particular stage, with many tasks accumulating there. What lean principle does this situation highlight a need to address? A. Visualize workflow. B. Limit work in progress, WIP. C. Manage flow. D. Make policies explicit. Answer: B. Limit work in progress, WIP. The situation described, with tasks accumulating at a stage, directly points to a need to limit work in progress, WIP. A core lean and Kanban principle, WIP limits restrict the number of items that can be in progress at any given time, preventing bottlenecks and encouraging the team to finish existing work before starting new tasks. By limiting WIP, the team can focus on completing items, reduce lead time, and identify where the workflow needs optimization, ultimately improving the flow of value. Question 14. A project manager is reviewing the project management plan and notices that the approach to managing quality is heavily focused on prevention rather than inspection. This aligns with which modern quality management principle? A. Just-in-time, JIT. B. Total Quality Management, TQM. C. Six Sigma. D. Lean Manufacturing. Answer: B. Total Quality Management, TQM. Total Quality Management, TQM, emphasizes a holistic organizational approach to continuous improvement of quality, with a strong focus on prevention over inspection. It aims to prevent defects from occurring in the first place, rather than finding and fixing them after they have been created. This principle is embedded in modern quality management, advocating for quality to be built into the process from the start. Focusing on prevention reduces rework, improves efficiency, and ultimately delivers higher quality products or services. Question 15. A new stakeholder, who holds significant influence, has recently joined the organization and expressed concerns about the project's direction. The project manager needs to quickly understand their expectations and level of interest. Which initial step should the project manager take to engage this new stakeholder effectively? A. Send them a copy of the project management plan. B. Schedule a one-on-one meeting to discuss their concerns and interests. C. Add them to all project communication distribution lists. D. Update the risk register with the new stakeholder's potential impact. Answer: B. Schedule a one-on-one meeting to discuss their concerns and interests. When a new, influential stakeholder emerges, the most effective initial step is to engage them directly through a one-on-one meeting. This personal interaction allows the project manager to actively listen to their concerns, understand their expectations, and assess their level of interest and influence without overwhelming them with project documents. Building rapport and gathering information directly helps tailor subsequent communication and engagement strategies, ensuring their needs are properly addressed from the outset. Question 16. In an Agile project, the team regularly delivers increments of value. However, the stakeholders are struggling to grasp the full potential of these increments and how they fit into the larger product vision. Which artifact is crucial for articulating the overall product goal and guiding the team's efforts? A. Product backlog. B. Sprint backlog. C. Product goal. D. Increment. Answer: C. Product goal. The product goal, introduced in recent Scrum Guide updates, describes a future state of the product which can serve as a target for the Scrum team to plan against. It sits above the product backlog, providing overarching guidance and a clear vision for what the product aims to achieve. Articulating and consistently communicating the product goal helps stakeholders understand how each increment contributes to the bigger picture, ensuring alignment and providing clarity on the product's long-term direction. It acts as the product's commitment, unifying the team and stakeholders around a common objective. Question 17. A project team is encountering persistent technical issues that require specialized expertise beyond the team's current capabilities. The project manager identifies an external consultant who can provide this expertise. Which risk response strategy is the project manager employing? A. Mitigate. B. Accept. C. Transfer. D. Exploit. Answer: C. Transfer. Transferring a risk involves shifting the responsibility for the risk and its impact to a third party. In this scenario, by hiring an external consultant, the project manager is essentially transferring the risk of technical failure, due to lack of internal expertise, and the responsibility for resolving it to the consultant. This strategy is often used when an external party is better equipped to manage a specific risk or its consequences, allowing the project team to focus on its core competencies. Question 18. A project manager is leading a hybrid project, incorporating both predictive and agile elements. The team is currently in a phase where requirements are well defined, and the design is stable. However, a small, critical component still has high uncertainty and needs rapid iteration. Which approach should be used for this specific component? A. Continue with a predictive approach for the component. B. Outsource the component to another team. C. Apply an agile approach for the specific component. D. Pause the entire project until the component is fully defined. Answer: C. Apply an agile approach for the specific component. In a hybrid project, the ability to tailor the development approach to different parts of the project or specific components is a key advantage. For a critical component with high uncertainty and a need for rapid iteration, an agile approach, such as Scrum or Kanban, would be highly beneficial. This allows the team to explore solutions iteratively, gather frequent feedback, and adapt quickly to emerging requirements, while the rest of the project can proceed with a more predictive method where appropriate. This flexibility is at the heart of hybrid project management. Question 19. A project manager realizes that several team members are experiencing burnout due to consistently high workloads and tight deadlines. What is the most proactive measure the project manager can take to address this issue and maintain team health? A. Assign less critical tasks to new team members. B. Negotiate with stakeholders to adjust scope or schedule. C. Implement mandatory overtime until the project is back on track. D. Advise team members to manage their time better. Answer: B. Negotiate with stakeholders to adjust scope or schedule. Addressing team burnout proactively requires tackling the root cause, which is often an unsustainable workload or unrealistic deadlines. The most effective measure is to negotiate with stakeholders to adjust the project's scope, schedule, or resources. This demonstrates that the project manager values the team's well-being and is committed to creating a sustainable working environment. Simply adding new tasks or mandating overtime would exacerbate the problem, while blaming team members for time management ignores the systemic issue. Question 20. A project manager is developing a work breakdown structure, WBS, for a new software development project. What is the primary purpose of creating a WBS? A. To define the critical path of the project. B. To estimate the total cost of the project. C. To decompose the project scope into smaller, manageable components. D. To assign resources to specific tasks. Answer: C. To decompose the project scope into smaller, manageable components. The primary purpose of a work breakdown structure, WBS, is to hierarchically decompose the total scope of work required to achieve the project objectives into smaller, more manageable components. This decomposition clarifies the project scope, provides a structured framework for planning, estimating, and controlling the project work, and ensures that all necessary work is identified. The WBS is a foundational tool for defining what needs to be done before moving on to how it will be done, making it central to scope management. Question 21. During a project, a significant number of defects are discovered during quality control inspections. The project manager needs to identify the root cause of these defects to prevent their recurrence. Which quality management tool would be most effective for this purpose? A. Control charts. B. Histograms. C. Fishbone diagram, Ishikawa diagram. D. Pareto chart. Answer: C. Fishbone diagram, Ishikawa diagram. A fishbone diagram, also known as an Ishikawa or cause and effect diagram, is a highly effective quality management tool for identifying and visualizing the potential root causes of a problem or defect. It helps a team brainstorm and categorize potential causes, often grouped into categories like manpower, methods, materials, machines, measurements, and environment. By systematically exploring these factors, the team can delve beyond symptoms to uncover the underlying issues contributing to defects, enabling targeted corrective actions. Question 22. A project manager on an Agile project notices that the team consistently overestimates their capacity, leading to incomplete user stories at the end of sprints. What is the most appropriate action for the Scrum Master to take to help the team improve? A. Reduce the number of story points allowed per sprint. B. Encourage the team to use a sprint burndown chart for better tracking. C. Facilitate a discussion during the retrospective to inspect capacity planning. D. Mandate a smaller sprint backlog for the next sprint. Answer: C. Facilitate a discussion during the retrospective to inspect capacity planning. The retrospective is the dedicated Scrum event for the team to inspect its own performance and identify improvements. If the team consistently overestimates capacity, the Scrum Master should facilitate a discussion during the retrospective to help the team understand why this is happening and devise their own solutions. This promotes self-organization and continuous improvement, rather than the Scrum Master imposing solutions, which aligns with the servant leadership aspect of the role. Question 23. A project is nearing completion, and the project manager is focused on ensuring that all final deliverables are accepted and formally handed over to the client. This activity is primarily part of which PMBOK 7th edition performance domain? A. Project work performance domain. B. Delivery performance domain. C. Measurement performance domain. D. Uncertainty performance domain. Answer: B. Delivery performance domain. The delivery performance domain is specifically concerned with ensuring that the project delivers the scope and quality that the project was undertaken to achieve, and that this value is actually realized. Finalizing deliverables, gaining formal acceptance, and successfully transitioning them to the client are critical aspects of demonstrating successful delivery and ensuring the intended value is received. This domain emphasizes producing deliverables that meet requirements and create intended outcomes, ensuring the project's purpose is fulfilled. Question 24. A project manager discovers that a critical project resource is consistently being pulled away to support operational activities, causing delays. To resolve this conflict and secure the necessary resource availability, the project manager should prioritize which action. A. Document the delays and report them to the project sponsor. B. Renegotiate the project timeline with the affected team. C. Escalate the resource conflict to functional management or the project sponsor. D. Advise the resource to decline operational requests. Answer: C. Escalate the resource conflict to functional management or the project sponsor. When a project manager's direct efforts to secure a critical resource are unsuccessful due to competing priorities with operational activities, the most effective next step is to escalate the conflict to higher management, such as functional managers or the project sponsor. These individuals have the authority to resolve such interdepartmental conflicts and ensure the project receives the necessary resources. Simply documenting delays or asking the resource to refuse operational requests does not address the root cause of competing priorities. Question 25. A new organizational policy requires all project teams to conduct regular product demos to key stakeholders every 2 weeks. This practice is most indicative of an organization moving towards which type of project life cycle? A. Predictive. B. Iterative. C. Adaptive, Agile. D. Hybrid. Answer: C. Adaptive, Agile. Regular product demos, often called sprint reviews in Scrum, every 2 weeks are a hallmark practice of adaptive, or Agile, project life cycles. This frequent engagement with stakeholders for feedback on working increments is central to Agile methodologies, allowing for continuous inspection and adaptation. Unlike predictive approaches, where deliverables are often presented only at major milestones, Agile emphasizes frequent interaction and feedback loops to ensure the product evolves to meet changing needs. Question 26. A project team is working on a complex software system. Due to the high degree of technical uncertainty, the requirements are expected to evolve throughout the project. To manage this uncertainty, the team decides to develop the product in small, incremental releases, gathering feedback after each release. This approach best aligns with which project lifecycle model? A. Waterfall. B. Predictive. C. Incremental. D. Phased. Answer: C. Incremental. An incremental life cycle delivers a complete, usable portion of the product in each iteration, allowing stakeholders to gain value earlier and provide feedback. This approach is highly effective for projects with evolving requirements and high technical uncertainty because it allows the project to build upon previous increments and adapt based on feedback. While related to Agile, which is often incremental and iterative, the core concept here is delivering usable parts in steps. Question 27. The project manager identifies an opportunity to reduce project costs significantly by implementing a new, unproven technology. However, this technology carries a high risk of failure. What is the most appropriate risk response strategy for this opportunity? A. Enhance. B. Share. C. Exploit. D. Mitigate. Answer: C. Exploit. Exploit is a risk response strategy specifically for opportunities, where the organization seeks to ensure that the opportunity occurs and its benefits are realized. In this scenario, implementing a new technology to significantly reduce costs, despite its risk, is an attempt to fully capitalize on that potential benefit. This strategy involves taking proactive steps to make the opportunity a reality, often by allocating more resources or focusing on the factors that will increase its likelihood and positive impact. Question 28. A project manager is facilitating a critical meeting where diverse stakeholders need to make a decision. To ensure psychological safety and encourage open discussion, what communication approach should the project manager prioritize? A. Dominating the conversation to guide to a swift decision. B. Encouraging active listening and respectful challenge of ideas. C. Allowing the most senior stakeholder to make the final decision. D. Relying solely on written communication to avoid conflict. Answer: B. Encouraging active listening and respectful challenge of ideas. Encouraging active listening and respectful challenge of ideas is paramount for fostering psychological safety in meetings. This approach ensures that all voices feel heard and valued, promoting an environment where individuals feel safe to express concerns, suggest alternatives, and even disagree without fear of negative repercussions. It allows for a richer exchange of ideas and leads to more robust decisions, which is crucial when dealing with diverse stakeholders. A project manager acts as a facilitator to create this open and productive dialogue. Question 29. A project team has adopted an iterative development approach. They are currently focused on validating hypotheses and reducing uncertainty by building just enough to learn from customer feedback. Which concept are they primarily focused on delivering? A. Minimum Marketable Feature, MMF. B. Minimum Business Increment, MBI. C. Minimum Viable Product, MVP. D. Product Increment. Answer: C. Minimum Viable Product, MVP. A minimum viable product, MVP, is a version of a new product that allows a team to collect the maximum amount of validated learning about customers with the least amount of effort. Its primary goal is to test a product hypothesis and gather feedback to guide future development, often by delivering just enough functionality to satisfy early adopters. This focus on learning and uncertainty reduction is a hallmark of the MVP concept in iterative and agile approaches. Question 30. During the execution of a project, the project manager notices that team members are consistently exceeding expectations and finding innovative solutions to problems. To acknowledge and foster this positive behavior, which action should the project manager take? A. Publicly recognize and reward the team's initiative and success. B. Document their performance for annual reviews. C. Increase their workload to capitalize on their high performance. D. Share their innovative solutions with other project teams. Answer: A. Publicly recognize and reward the team's initiative and success. Publicly recognizing and rewarding positive behavior, such as initiative and innovative problem-solving, is a powerful motivator and reinforces desired actions within the team. It creates a positive work environment, boosts morale, and encourages continued high performance. While documenting performance and sharing solutions are also valuable, direct and timely recognition is most effective in fostering the specific behaviors observed. This approach aligns with leadership principles of appreciation and positive reinforcement. Question 31. A project manager is working on a project to develop a new mobile application. The team is spread across different time zones, and communication has become a challenge. To improve communication efficiency and reduce misunderstandings, what is the best strategy for the project manager to implement? A. Schedule all meetings during a single, common overlap time for everyone. B. Increase reliance on asynchronous communication tools and clear documentation. C. Require all team members to adjust their working hours to a central time zone. D. Appoint a communication lead in each time zone to relay information. Answer: B. Increase reliance on asynchronous communication tools and clear documentation. For geographically dispersed teams, especially those across different time zones, relying more heavily on asynchronous communication tools, like shared documents, project management software with comment features, and dedicated chat channels, coupled with clear, concise documentation is often the most effective strategy. This allows team members to contribute and consume information at times convenient for them, reducing the need for everyone to be simultaneously available and minimizing misunderstandings. While common overlap times can be useful, they are often limited and insufficient for all communication. Question 32. A project manager is tasked with integrating a new compliance requirement into an ongoing project. This requirement was not part of the initial planning. Which of the PMBOK 7th edition performance domains primarily focuses on addressing this type of external influence and ensuring the project remains aligned with organizational and regulatory standards? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Business environment performance domain. D. Stakeholder performance domain. Answer: C. Business environment performance domain. The business environment performance domain addresses the internal and external factors that are outside the control of the project team but can influence, or be influenced by, the project. New compliance requirements fall squarely within this domain, as they represent external regulatory standards that the project must adapt to. This domain focuses on navigating these non-project factors, understanding their impact, and ensuring the project remains aligned with and responsive to the broader organizational and regulatory context. Question 33. A project team is implementing a new process, but adoption among team members is low. Some are resistant to change, while others simply don't understand the benefits. To overcome this, the project manager should first focus on which aspect of change management. A. Enforcing the new process through mandates. B. Providing incentives for early adopters. C. Clearly communicating the why behind the change and involving the team. D. Reverting to the old process to avoid conflict. Answer: C. Clearly communicating the why behind the change and involving the team. Effective change management begins with clear communication, especially explaining the why behind a change, its benefits, and how it aligns with project or organizational goals. Involving the team in the change process through feedback and collaboration helps build understanding, buy-in, and a sense of ownership, significantly reducing resistance. Mandating change or offering incentives without addressing understanding often leads to superficial adoption or resentment. Question 34. A project manager is responsible for ensuring the project delivers measurable benefits to the organization. This responsibility is primarily associated with which aspect of the project management standard? A. Project governance. B. Benefits realization. C. Scope management. D. Quality assurance. Answer: B. Benefits realization. Benefits realization is the process of ensuring that the benefits identified during the project's inception are actually achieved and sustained after the project is completed. A project manager's responsibility extends beyond just delivering the scope to ensuring that the project contributes tangible value to the organization. This involves monitoring, tracking, and actively managing the outcomes to confirm that the project's outputs translate into the intended strategic and business benefits. Question 35. In an Agile project, the team uses a technique to visually map out user activities and identify user stories based on the sequence of these activities. What is this technique called? A. Story mapping. B. Process flow diagram. C. Value stream mapping. D. Use case diagram. Answer: A. Story mapping. Story mapping is a collaborative technique used in Agile environments to build a visual representation of a product's functionality from the user's perspective. It helps organize user stories into a coherent narrative of user activities and tasks, making it easier to understand the product's overall scope, identify gaps, and prioritize work for releases. This method provides a big-picture view of the product, ensuring the team stays focused on delivering value in logical, user-centric increments.